So it's one thing to like be an entrepreneur, right, and have a business, but then there's an added layer of complexity that comes with growing online. So what's like your opinion of this space? What is, your advice for any, like, how do you feel being an online entrepreneur?
I think because I am an online entrepreneur, it really means, okay, to really be effective, you have to be willing to show yourself and show people, especially in doing what I do.
Hey guys, it's Dr. Sonia here with Jump First. I've helped hundreds of creative entrepreneurs and business owners to take back their free time, generate additional revenue, and celebrate while living that work from anywhere lifestyle through creating online courses in digital education. So I'm super excited that you guys are here. Say it with me. Done is better than perfect. Master one thing at a time. Practice makes better. And this has to work. Right? Let's get it.
Welcome, Rhonda. I'm super excited to have you and excited about all the awesome things that we're going to get to talk about today regarding your journey in CYOC as an entrepreneur and business owner and mom, and all things that are very positive and also very positively going to impact, I'm sure, lots and lots of people. So welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
Glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. Cool beans. So talk to us. Let's jump right into it. Tell us all about what it is that you do. Give us like the short bio synopsis. What is it that you do, Rhonda?
I help moms. I help frustrated moms. I help single moms. I help moms who homeschool, moms who are struggling with raising their kids because of just whatever difficulties just present themselves throughout the day, the week, the month. I target young children, preschool age, and probably up until at least the mid elementary school grades. Um, and I help moms have accountability, encouragement, as well as support from someone who have walked their path before and who can give them insight as to how important it is to grow as a person and what effect that has on the child, the growth that mom has.
I love that. That's a very unique topic, like a very unique niche, if you will. A lot of people either talk and direct their assistance towards parents, just parents in general, right? Like whether it's more effective parenting, relationships, those sorts of things, or just the kids. And I think that the work that you do integrates parents and kids. And so definitely some very valuable experience there. So I know that when we first got started, I was super excited to work with you. We had a couple of conversations, and I think you also came to one of my workshops, and then we decided to start this work together. So how did you get into the field of what it is that you do in the first place?
Pretty much because I just reached a point after my kids were have all graduated high school and college that I took a year and I allowed some time for the Lord to direct me as to what my next phase in life would look like and what He desired of me. Of course, that was after I had tried doing some things on my own that I realized I was in the wrong lane, and the Lord, He first of all, He put it on my heart to write a book that He had given me to write 8 years before I started this journey, but it wasn't the right time, and so right about that time where I'm seeking Him as to His direction, His guidance for my future and for my path, for my mission, my mission in life. how I'm going to present myself to the world. The book was what the Lord put on my heart. So I wrote the book. I finished the book. It's called Homeschooling Work for Us. Us meaning my family, African American families, because the majority of homeschoolers are not African American, they're Caucasian. So when I finished that book last summer, 2019, toward the end of July, and I launched the book, had a huge book signing, and then from there, the being able to help moms, because that book shares my whole testimony, shares where I started. I was that mom that was what someone would consider, a horrible mom, not because I was a horrible person, but I just didn't know. I didn't know how to raise my kids in the way that God had me. I didn't even know that God had a desire for us to raise our kids in a certain way, because I didn't put all of that together as a kid, nor as a teenager, nor as a young adult. And no one taught me that. So now that after I had written my book, now I feel like the Lord put it in my heart, just a hunger, a desire and a burden for moms who were just as naive as I was, even whether they grew up in church or not, just as naive as to know or neglect the fact that we play a huge part, our attitude, our disposition, the way we grow in the Lord, as far as our kids are concerned, and to connect my growth with their growth. And so that's kind of how I came into this. So then I felt like, okay, I need a course. I want a course to help me to relay this to moms. And so that's kind of how I got there. And I sometimes I may feel like I put the cart before the horse, and just wanting this course. But I really felt like I needed a tool, a resource to give moms. And other than my book that kind of wets their whistle a little bit, but just sort of something that I can say, okay, hey, this is laid out for you. This is how you do it. These are the steps,
Yeah, for sure. So the book is kind of like, okay, here's the guide, here's, what I did, but then the course becomes the practical piece, the application piece of the entire process. Is that right, Rhonda?
Yeah.
Awesome. So what is the course, the online course and the book kind of your first entrepreneurial event?
Not well. I had some years ago when I was homeschooling, I had another entrepreneurial event, and
Okay.
so that was my first. But then, but it was not. It was kind of like just something that I saw a need, and I just kind of met the need. I didn't really think of it as, oh, I'm gonna have my own business, blah blah blah. We were just meeting the need. And then 2008, it didn't take the need away, but our economy changed, and it really was not. It didn't fit anymore for the people that I was pursuing because of it. So I stopped.
Got it. And now there's another need, right? So would you say that, talk to me a little bit about that. Would you say that a part of starting a business or getting started in any entrepreneurial journey is to fulfill a need first?
Yes, you have to. You have to have a need. There has to be somebody out there looking for you or looking for what you're doing. Yes, I would definitely say that.
Awesome. So the entrepreneurial part of this is you need to be providing a solution for people who have a need, and then from there flows the revenue and the larger visibility and those types of things. But first we need to focus on, okay, how can we serve, how can we impact? Is that right?
Right, exactly.
I like that. So what is one piece of advice that you would give to someone who is looking to jump into entrepreneurship?
The one piece of advice that I would give is that you have to be willing to get out of yourself, and not be your own hindrance. Um, Before this particular entrepreneurship, I was pretty much to myself. I was a homeschooler to myself, and I made sure my kids got out there because I felt like in homeschooling you're preparing your children to serve in the world, to be a light in the world. So I totally emphasize that with them and prepare them. But as far as myself, I didn't think of myself as getting out there. I was that person that I don't bug you, you don't bug me, right? I was I just salespeople or people who tried to pursue me to buy or to sell something or to convince me of something was a complete turnoff. And so as a whole, I vow to never be that person or that type of person. But if you are wanting to pursue entrepreneurship, you have to get out of yourself. You have to be willing to market yourself, sell yourself, dig deep within yourself, pull out of yourself, stay in there for the long haul, not easily give up, but to build something that's worth building. That is not easy to build.
Definitely. And I would say, like, what would be your advice moving into the online space? So it's one thing to like be an entrepreneur, right, and have a business, but then there's an added layer of complexity that comes with growing online. So what's like your opinion of this space? What is, your advice for like, how do you feel being an online entrepreneur?
My opinion of this space is similar to some of what I just said. I think because I am an online entrepreneur, it really means, okay, to really be effective, you have to be willing to show yourself and show people, especially in doing what I do. I work with moms. When I was on that path where it was really not my lane, I worked with people with their money. And so I feel like anytime you work with money with people and their children, there's a wall up sometimes. So you have to be able to get through the wall because people are so sensitive concerning those two areas. So you have to uncover yourself, be transparent online, even though some people may think, well, online it's not as personable, but it is. I find myself in front of the video a lot, not something that I would have chosen for myself, because again, I'd rather stay back. I'm the background person normally, but it forces you to be in front. It forces you again to be transparent.
Definitely. And I would say when we first started working together, you definitely were like the behind the scenes person, the background person, as you put it. And it's been amazing to watch you grow from when we first started working together. I believe we were talking before we popped on about, was that in the spring? When exactly was that? It feels like we've known each other for a very long time and have been working together for a very long time at this point. But it's been almost like just under a year or so. But you did start as the background person, as the person behind the scenes, and you're like, all right, now I got to come to the forefront in creating this course and starting to market the course. So let's jump into like some of the success you've had in marketing your course, developing your course, and creating it and teaching it. Like, so talk to us about like that journey and some of the results that you've seen as a result of, pun intended, of launching your online program.
The success that I've had in launching is, I have gone through my course one time. It's an 8-week course, and I was successful because somebody signed up for my course, and it wasn't the number that I went for, but it was still a number, and I was still people who believed in me enough to purchase my course for the premium price that I put on it, because that course represents my life and the things and the hurdles, the highs, the lows, everything that I learned because of going through everything I've gone through. So the fact that someone desired that and I was able to pour into them. I had 2 ladies that signed up and that finished the course, and I was able to pour into them, and they were so just hungry to hear and know and learn and experience something and learn things that they had never heard before. And so that felt very just good to me. And so it helped me to know that this is definitely where I'm supposed to be and what I'm continuing to do and need to do. So yeah, that's it.
I like it. And you mentioned it felt really good to you. So talk to us more, go into a little more detail, if you will, about like how you felt teaching your program that you created.
I felt good in teaching it made me feel like I was definitely the expert, you know, and it made me feel good because I was helping them, and that I knew they wouldn't be the same, and it's a process, true, no matter what. You can give people the tools and they can have them, but it's going to be a process for them to work through those tools. But at least they have them. They have them to use. They have them to bring forth growth. So it felt good to just to teach, and not just because I've taught before, but this time to teach because someone thought it valuable enough to pay for it. That's a whole nother level of feeling good.
Definitely. I would agree with you there. So one of the other questions that I always like to ask is also like, how do what was it like to go through the process of creating something from the very beginning that you knew was going to be yours? And talk to us about like how long it took you, like that creation process, but also how long it took you to get to the result.
For the course, because I had also created a book. So some of those same feelings, they're different, but they still, they're still just deep, great, gratifying feelings, As far as the course is concerned, because of CYOC, I believe I said those letters right. Okay. Because of the course, in order to complete it and the process that you took me through, it allowed me to really get my course down in the computer, in a file, and to literally walk it all the way through. I had 8 weeks of teaching. So first of all, you said how long, before I jumped there, how long did it take? I would say that it took the whole time I was in the course, and maybe at least 3 weeks after, because remember, done is better than perfect. So
That's
it
right.
wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfected, but it was still done. I had made a syllabus. That was the most important piece, in my opinion, of the things that I did, because I had to put down what was going to really occur each week and what my students would have to look forward to, instead of and then some of the things were tweaked some, because you realize after you do a week or two, then this is not going to work. I better tweak this. But still, at least I had something to tweak. I didn't have to invent something, or so I think it took I would say it took, I was in the course for, I believe, 7 to 9 weeks. I was supposed to be, I think it was about that long. So that's about 2 months. I would say about 3 months of what I already had. Because, when most times I was not like, I knew coming into the course, and I know you have some students that they don't really even know what their course is going to be about. Well, I knew coming in what my course was going to be about and had already put down some information. But by the time I refined it all and got it ready to present in a course, it took about 3 months.
Very cool, very cool. And I love how you even stated earlier, like success by definition is relative. Is relative to every single person, right? To define what success means for them. And I love how you said my course was successful because somebody paid for to learn what I know, to learn from my experiences, from my knowledge, and they found that valuable enough for them to pay. So I just want to tell you, Rhonda, that I am very proud of you. I really, really am. Like just watching your growth, watching you to continue even beyond your 7 weeks of being inside the program or 9 weeks of being inside of the program, but to continue to want to build on that foundation that you've laid and continue to grow and continue to impact. So I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So talk to folks about before you came into the program. Did you have any like procrastination, fears, self-doubt? Like what were some of maybe your limiting beliefs or just beliefs in general, like coming into the program?
Okay, coming into the program, yes, I had procrastination. That's one of the reasons I signed up for the program, because I know that helps me to not procrastinate, because if I pay money for something, I'm gonna finish it. So I like that. I know that's not the case for everybody, but it is for me. So I like the fact that everything was kind of laid out for me as to how to get from point A to B. And yes, like I've heard you say, and your other clients have said, your other students have said, you just kind of gotta trust that if I do this and I keep going, I'm gonna get there. Everything, you don't always see the reason why I'm doing this. Everybody in the course they take, that's mine, they don't see the reason why we do these little things or something that I can't see at first. But of course, when I do it, I can see this is helping me. I like the beginning of the course where it helped me to identify my authority, something I never had done in the past. And it makes you feel like, okay, again, I am the expert because this is what I've done before. And sometimes when I'm having to fill out, register for something, I think back to that and go back to that. These are the things I've done in my life, and I have them written down right now. And I feel good about myself. One of the problems that I had that the course, I started off not being that person that would want to charge a premium price. And again, the course helped me to come to the realization, even if a person pays premium price, whatever they pay, it's still not what I paid to go through what I've gone through. It didn't come close. So if you can pay me for that value, then it's all right. And it's more likely that you're going to appreciate it and you're going to value it as well. And the customer, that is, or the person that buys my course. So those are some areas that I started off with as, really kind of weekend that the course helped me to strengthen.
I love that. I love it. And so in overcoming those challenges, how important would you say it is to just keep going, to keep pressing forward? Does that, you think, help you? Did that help you overcome some of those challenges?
Yes, it helps me to keep going because of the victory in those challenges, but also knowing the reason I came in from the beginning to to do what I know God's called me to do, and to show up in the way I'm supposed to. Now, just because I went through the course doesn't mean that it's still not growth, hard work. I'm still treading, and I'm still trying to get exactly in that zone of where, okay, I know that this is it, and I know exactly what to tell you and how to get it to as many people as I need that need this, but it have helped me and given me courage. It's given me growth, and it's given me the stamina to continue.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Okay. So how do you know? Let me ask you this question because I'm interested in your answer. If you could go back, right, to the beginning of this process and tell yourself one thing, what would that be?
If I could go back and tell myself one thing, that one thing would be to just let go, totally just let go and go with the flow of it. And, you always have these, everybody always have preconceived ideals of what something is going to look like. But if we would just trust the Lord, trust the process that He's put before us, because I feel like I looked for a long time for the right course for me. And I was seeking the Lord for His guidance on the right course for me. And so if I could talk to myself before, I would say, because I've gained so much, even some of the things that other people who have visions within themselves and they're not moving, like at one point I wasn't moving, I find myself just telling them just things, that I've just learned, I have so much confidence. And so they look at me like, man, not just about being teaching moms, but like, wow, Rhonda, look at where you are. Even though I still see how far I need to go, I still can acknowledge the fact and other people see it where I am. So yeah, that's what I would tell my old self, to just calm down, relax, and just trust, and just keep moving. You're gonna get there. You're gonna feel good about where you're going.
Definitely trust the process. I love that. Let go and trust the process. So my last question to you, Rhonda, first of all, this has been super insightful, and I hope it has been for our viewers as well. My last question is, where do you see your brand going? Where do you go from here?
I see my brand creating more courses. I see my brand being a school where I can teach other moms how to train moms, how to the very same information that I share and knowledge that I have and wisdom I have and been given, that I can impart that to them and that they can teach as well.
I love that. So before we get out of here, can you tell folks where they can find you, especially any moms out there who are looking for courses and resources? Where can people get in touch with you?
They can look me up, look my website up, RhondaMcAfee.com. And they can also find me on Facebook, Rhonda Horn McAfee.
Nice. And so that's Rhonda, RhondaMcAfee.com.
Yes.
Very cool.
And as far as Instagram, I'm the actively growing parent.
I love that. I love that name.
Yeah. So
absolutely,
that's how they can find me.
Nice. Now, before we get out of here, any last words or last piece of advice that you want to leave with folks?
The last thing I would totally say is if you treat your business like someone has told me, if you treat your business like a business, you know, you'll progress a lot more than if you just kind of take it half-heartedly. And again, and I've already said this, just as far as social media is concerned, just embrace it. You know, one of the things that really helped me, because I was kind of fearful of just being in front of the camera, um, and this seems so simple, but if you think about it, people are always looking at you. When you go to the store, they're looking at you. When you go to church, when you go to the park, people are always looking at you, at your face, at you. You're always in front of the screen, always. So if that is something that can help someone like it's helped me, then that's what I would have to say.
I love that. That's a great piece of advice and definitely a different perspective to shape how we view ourselves and how we show up in this world. Again, Rhonda, I want to thank you for being here. I really appreciate you, and I'm super, super proud of you and wishing you much continued success on this journey. Thank you so much for sharing.
Well, thank you, Dr. Sonia, for your course, and thank you for being a blessing to the world.
Oh, thank you, Rhonda. No problem. I'll see you later.
Okay, bye-bye.